Now on 12, a woman is struck and killed on her bicycle on City Island. The driver fleeing the scene. Our own Rena Roy is there. Plus, a woman is assaulted on Bainbridge Avenue. Police on the hunt for that suspect. And we'll take a look outside on this late summer Saturday with your weather on the twos. All this and more when News 12 The Bronx starts right now.
As local news gets, News 12 The Bronx.
Thanks for joining us here on News 12 The Bronx. We're as local news gets, and I'm Kelsey Miner. Police are on the hunt today for a driver they say hit and killed a woman, leaving her to die in the street. News 12 The Bronx reporter Rena Roy joining us from City Island Bridge with the latest details.
That's right. We're told a 20.
Rena, thank you. Elsewhere in our borough, cops are looking for men wanted for forcibly touching a woman on Bainbridge Avenue. They say back on July 7th, this 37-year-old victim was walking along the street when the suspect grabbed her breasts and buttocks before running off. Police are also on the hunt for 3 suspects wanted for an armed robbery along Southern Boulevard. They say this past Thursday, they followed their 32-year-old victim into his apartment building, took the elevator with him, and then whipped out a knife. They made off with his chain before leaving the building. No injuries reported there. Over in Brooklyn, new surveillance video from the Labor Day shooting of one of Governor Cuomo's aides. The video released by police shows 2 armed suspects on the scene in Brooklyn where Carrie Gabay was shot before the West Indian Day Parade. Gabay, who was born in the Bronx, was shot in the head and remains in critical condition. Anyone with information on these cases is asked to call Crime Stoppers. The number there, 1-800-577-TIPS. And remember, you do not have to leave your name. Turning now for a look outside with weather on the twos. Remembering Bronxites who perished in the 9/11 attacks. That's how members of the Throgs Neck community commemorated yesterday's solemn anniversary, 14 years after the deadly attacks. The ceremony included moving speeches by local police officers and firemen who were responding to the World Trade Center, along with a traditional bagpipe performance. People who live in the neighborhood say it's sometimes difficult but important to honor the fallen.
My participation in this has to do with me losing my friend Donna on this day 14 years ago, and I've been involved ever since.
A marble memorial at the site depicts the names of Bronxites lost on that tragic day. I'm Kelsey Miner. This is News 12 The Bronx. We have more news and weather on the twos headed your way, but first, here's a look at yesterday's 9/11 ceremonies in Lower Manhattan in our nation's capital. Welcome back. A motorcyclist is dead after a crash early this morning in Unionport. These are images from the scene. Police say the cyclist, a 30-year-old man and his 27-year-old female passenger, were speeding on Commerce Avenue when they lost control and hit a fence. They were both taken to Jacoby, where the woman was pronounced dead. The driver remains in stable condition. No word yet on either of their identities. Cops are also searching for 2 suspects wanted for robbery along the Grand Concourse. They say last month 2 teens approached another teen on East 178th Street before attacking him. They took his iPhone before running off. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-800-577-TIPS. Well, are you ready for some football? The Pigskin is back in action with both local teams kicking off the season this Sunday. So in our word on the street, we ask Bronxites, Jets or Giants?
The Giants are...
Moving on, making headlines around the country today. Police questioning a person of interest linked to a series of freeway shootings in Phoenix, Arizona. Officers detained 19-year-old Oscar de la Torre Munoz when even taking his SUV, which was searched for evidence that may connect him to the shootings. Police have confirmed 11 shootings on the city's highways over the past 2 weeks. Only 1 person has been injured. And a man accused of setting fire to an air control facility outside of Chicago has been sentenced to 12.5 years in prison. Brian Howard must also pay more than $4.5 million in restitution to the FAA after committing arson last year. The incident led thousands of flights to either be delayed or canceled at the city's two main airports. Officials say Howard even posted an apparent suicide note on Facebook before lighting the fire. A tragic story out of South America as two members of the film crew working on a Tom Cruise movie are dead after a plane crash. This is one of the victims, Alan Perwin. You see him here, the pilot in the incident. They were filming in Colombia, filming Mena, when their two-engine propeller plane came down. Another person was injured. Tom Cruise was not on board. No word on what caused the crash. Let's shift gears here and check out your weather forecast. And mushrooms, Goombas, and Koopas. You're probably saying, Kelsey, what are you saying? Well, believe it or not, it's been 30 years of Super Mario Brothers. The iconic video game was released by Nintendo in 1985, and today includes Super Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, among other classic games. Today also happens to be National Video Game Day. Time for your weather on the twos now with News 12 meteorologist Bruce Avery. Alrighty, Dan, thanks. I'm Kelsey Meitner. This is News 12 The Bronx, as local news gets. More news is on the way, but first, here's a look at our question of the day. You can still vote at Channel 612 or news12.com. And while you're there online, check out these events happening around our borough.